the question of CDF and the fact that the CDF is now undergoing that process of, it might not be out or it might be there. But if for any chance CDF is not there, then the funds that CDF now is using for purposes of supporting the ministry would request that then fund would be allocated to the ministry in order for the ministry to continue doing the infrastructure and the bursaries that the CDF is doing. However, part of the exercise that we are doing at the moment and we think that we need to do is we want to, just like we're undertaking the verification exercise, we want to undertake an audit of all the money that is utilized in the sector in terms of all the bursaries that are given by various institutions, by various donors, by various government agencies, so that we can get a figure to know how much is it exactly are we spending in the sector for education. So that compared, we can then analyze to find out with the number of learners that we have, if we pulled all these resources together, can we then have a completely free education for our children? Because to date, there is nowhere you can get the total figure other than the 702 billion that the government allocates in the budget. There is no other center where you can get a centralized figure to say this is the amount of money that is being utilized totally in the education sector. So we want to do an audit first, then that audit will be able to give us the data that we require to push for probably the consolidation of all these amounts into one kitty, and then we have that kitty running the sector. So it's is work in progress. It's a conversation that we'll need to all have to see how we sort out that problem, because as the senator here has said, these are problems that have been there for a very long time, and we've really not gotten the answers to them, and we are trying to find out what is the best way to do this in order to ensure that we resolve the financial challenges that face this sector. So we are doing something about it as well. And also, to Senator Consolata's question, we are undertaking a new platform in the ministry called KEMIS, because we want this ministry to have one single center or one single source of truth. We want every module, everything that happens in the sector to have a module in that system so that we can collect and link what we are doing and we can see each other. For example, if you have 12 million students, when you are buying books or supplying books for a subject, that subject should only have 12 million books, for example, because we do not normally have a situation where this information is at the same center. You would find perhaps when you have 5 million students, you are supplying 7 million books, so that there is a gap and there is a waste of resources that needs now to be utilized optimally. So we are doing something, utilizing data, utilizing AI to ensure that going forward, we are able to utilize the resources that are available in the digital sector to make decisions that are data-based, that are evidence-driven. And to Senator Miraji's question, it is true that because of this disconnect, where one arm is not seeing the other, we are finding things happening that otherwise, if we were operating not in silos, would be much more optimal in the utilization of the resources that we have. This is why we are saying we want to come up with that particular platform, so that even if you are a donor or you are somebody doing anything for the education sector, you plug into the module and the ministry and the government can see what you are doing, including feeding of children and all the other activities that take place by individuals in the sector.